Okay, so do some quick reading here, and I figured out ways to improve our build right away, very easily. Just didn't really have a chance to dive into it, but there's some simple things we can do that seem to be pretty straightforward. Optimizing a scene. This adding this live stream to the Discord channel here. Okay, so yeah, so the first thing we can do is called Occlusion Culling, and I actually just ran it within Unity here, and it did a good job of just automatically knowing what the camera was looking at, what it wasn't. I've been trying to frickin' upload this for the longest time. It won't let me do it. I'm getting frustrated. Oasis Live D1. It just keeps on saying I can't do it. That time it actually saved it, so maybe it'll work this time. I turned it on and off, so let's see if that does anything for us. Alright, I'll let it do its thing. But essentially, I'll just play this for you and show you how it works, and you can see what I'm talking about here. So I'll just zoom back into our first level here, and you can see it looks like there's stuff that is actually missing. At least it looked like that before. I may actually have disabled the bake for that by rebaking the second one. I'm not sure what happened there. No, it definitely looks like it's running, because when I go here, it goes away. So I did bake that. All right, so that's cool. So watch this. I'll go ahead and just run this. We have all our scene objects here, and you can see how it works. There's ways to optimize it. This is definitely not the most efficient way, but this is a fast, quick fix to turn off a lot of stuff, and I think this is going to improve the performance on the phone. So you're going to notice. Look, just watch the level here as we walk around it. You'll see a bunch of stuff happening. At least I think so. Just have to rebake it again. Or maybe, you know what, I probably have to be on here. Yeah, okay, so... And also let me go ahead and turn the canvas. Oh, it is on. What is that? Oh, that's our menu there. Okay, so I can go ahead and... Okay, what's going on here? Why do I not have access to the game? Alright, that's weird. Let's try that again. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up there, because it was working good a second ago. And goes there. Let's go camera here. Camera's way up there. Let's see if I can get that to work. It could have something to do with it toggling off the event manager again. It does that. Okay, so it's gonna zoom into our level here in a second. Alright, and so right, there we go. It's just obviously having a hard time with feedback. So I would say it's actually working harder to cull, but it's graphically helping us. So if we go into here again and I walk around, you can see that is disabling the items that are not in view. So this is good because if I walk over here and let's look straight out, it turns everything off. And this should help for performance in terms of what it needs to render. However, I don't know if that's going to improve the performance of the CPU. But it's pretty cool how it works. So it just knows if something's in, if a pixel's in the view to keep it in place. I didn't have to do anything. I just literally selected the whole scene itself, and I can walk around now. So I'm interested to see what happens when I build this out, if it actually improves the performance for us. But seems to be working good. So we'll do this, we'll use this for all the levels there. And let's go over here again. I want to see if the other one works as well. So I also did the same thing for this one. So I'm going to go in the scene B now. And we zoom in. I don't know what this big yellow box is. I'm assuming that has something to do with that. So now if I turn this way, it does the same thing. It, we just fell off, but you can get a point for how it works. So that's the Occlusion Culling performance enhancer there. That's built into Unity, and I just Googled that. So with that being said, there's some other stuff we can look at here. So okay, fixing performance problems. This is new. There used to be a list you can just read off of. I mean, this is going to take... Yeah, this is going to take an hour to do all this stuff. So let's just look through this real quick, and then maybe we can pick out what's important for us. Yeah, so the only challenge I think with the culling thing is that it's not going to help the CPU. It's only going to help our GPU. Alright, and then... So we're definitely not optimizing our code here. We got a bunch of different stuff coming in. And it's saying only run it when you need it, don't run it all the time. Cache stuff, makes sense. Data structure, so this is mostly object pooling. So a lot of this hopefully is already happening due to like the stuff we're using. I'm not sure, like I don't necessarily, I haven't looked into all the scripts of what everybody is using in the actual, the components we're using. For me, I don't necessarily think there's a CPU issue. I think it's just gets hot from handling all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on that has to render out on the phone there. But anyways, I'm not gonna. I'll go ahead and link this in the thread, but I'm not necessarily going to read this all out loud. But let's see if there's anything else we can find real quick, just from googling stuff here. Let's just read through what people say here. Oh, this is definitely going to be one of those things where I forgot stupid YouTube, and they're stupid. Right. Okay, your game before and after. Keep it simple, stupid. Use the profiler. We're going to do that in a second. Batch those. Oh, they're saying batch render those. This is new. Okay. We'll have to look into the batching. We're trying to do this. Culling we're using now is what we just talked about. Right, yeah, that's awesome. That's one of the. This is one of the things I wanted to use. So another thing is textures. Use texture sheets instead of just using independent textures. That's something we eventually have to do, but that's a lot of work. Use proper compression mode. I do compress everything for mobile. Raycasting. There's minimal raycasting in here. We use low poly, right? So this one is basically saying you can use a square collider instead of a mesh collider or a box collider. A box collider is going to have a lot more size it has to render out. Rigid bodies. Yeah, clean up your code. Okay, so baked lights. I do think we are baking our lights here, but I could be wrong. Level of detail, I just disabled all of them because we're using a mobile game, so it's always low level. It doesn't really affect us. So here is what I'm hoping will have us luck out. If we're using GPU utilization, I think by turning off a lot of stuff that should help that. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're in good shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll build this back out in a little bit. I'm not gonna worry about it now. Collaborate, you're freaking driving me nuts. Ever since you really messed it up, man. You really messed it up. Alright. I almost just want to delete the whole collaborate and just re-upload everything. I don't know what to do. Alright. We're not building this on there though. Usually there's a way to cancel out the sync, so I don't know why that's not working for us here. Usually there's a way to say cancel this. I don't necessarily need to do this. But I don't see it. You know, maybe it's a cache thing actually, that could be it. Sometimes the cache does a lot of stuff here. Okay, so clean that out. This is the one that really matters for us. Clean this one out. And we will collaborate. I might actually have to delete the cloud version, re-upload all this, so it should be a pain in the ass. But if that fixes that issue, I'll do it. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to enable the ads and load the next level here, like I had before. So we'll do that next. Okay. What's going on, Hub? Weird stuff going on here. Alright, I'm gonna master backup. This is because that's generator. Delete that, move trash. Enter that, clean up. What's that in there? Shouldn't be in there. So let's reopen our hub here. Yeah, what a terrible key that is. Alright, we're back in action. Alright, so I gotta figure out what we're gonna do with those portals here. So we'll let this load up. And so the thing is, I like the portal effects. I just don't necessarily like the frameworks of them. I want it to be like more of a rift that opens up. You know, something like that. I don't know if you can see that. It gets keyed out, but you know, like a rift. And so there was like an animation the other one I had, but it was so low quality, it just wasn't good. And at least these are like solid. Okay, so sign in and collaborate. What do we got here? Am I not signed in anymore? Maybe this will fix it. Maybe I was having syncing issues, which is why it wouldn't work. This has happened before. Okay, so while it's doing that, let's open up our Photoshop here and let's work on our logo. So let's go. Just want to say Oasis. Oops. Oasis logo. Alright, let's see if we can find what we're looking for here. Nope, that one. Let me bring that here. Alright, I think it's this one. The only problem is I couldn't save the I couldn't find the one that I saved that I actually used for the demo. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but let me just redo it anyways. So I'm gonna make it 1,000 by 1,000 here, and I'll make sure it's. Another thing to note, when you use Photoshop, when you're using mobile, you can use the PSBs, not the PSDs. At least that's, I don't know what this new version's like, maybe it's different. But the good thing about that is you have different variances of it. So I can just go here. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, let's see what we got here. We're running out of space again. Yeah. Okay. So I'm guessing that has to do with my backups here. See what that's all about. It's another tool I use to constantly clean up my computer here. So what I can do is I can clean up a lot of the cached projects in Xcode here. And I can clean up a lot of the cache other places. That will give us about 100 gigs back. This is only 10, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. This is something with all the app develop, the mobile versions. I think we're finding a place where the we have everything we need technology-wise to build cool stuff here. Anything more is just extra. Like every time Apple pushes out a new update, it screws up all my development stuff, so I'm gonna stop updating my I had some issues with my Magic Leap yesterday due to that. Okay, so here, user, Daniel. Alright, well this right here is taking up 60, but that shouldn't be the problem. It's whatever's in this library here. Developer, Xcode, we can delete that. Those are just archived. We can delete derived data. These are different versions of Xcode. Right, different. We don't need these old ones. I'm just gonna delete some of them. Hopefully it doesn't screw stuff up. Alright, and then we're gonna get 50 gigs back there, which is good. Alright, we got some, let's go back in here. Applications, Unity. See, here's another thing. We can ditch Xcode beta now, we don't need that. Let's take up the hub itself. I definitely need this one. I don't need both of these. I can ditch that one. Alright. And then I'll just do a no, maybe 1,000 by 1,000. Working in 4K now, so I think that's probably a new standard 4K for icons, right? Yeah, so you get these artboards here, which is cool because then you can just duplicate them out and do different stuff and different variances. It's kind of like what's it called? SketchUp, which is what everybody likes to use. I'm an Adobe fan though, to be honest. I like Adobe. Just drag that in there. Should load that up. The only challenge here is that I kind of have to ditch this. I don't know. This is the original logo, but I'm thinking we're gonna ditch it altogether. I don't know what happened to the original version of this where it was separated. It's somewhere. I don't delete anything, well, usually, but sometimes it just gets deleted in the cluster or building stuff out. Okay, obviously we want this to be hard, not soft here. Okay, and I'll zoom in really close and just make sure that we're getting us pretty close. It's good enough. Got a little bump there, doesn't it? That you can't tell. Okay, so now we have our O here, our little Oasis O, so we can drop that in there. Fits pretty good. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have one of these kind of come out of it, you know, so like, but I didn't want it to overwhelm the so it has to really work here. So we want it to be over, but under. So what we'll do is we'll go select pixels here, and I think what I'll do is I'll like press the Option key. I can deselect parts of this, right? So we just want it to be too much. Can I use a bigger size? That will help us here. It's not working. Maybe a better way to do it is to select the pixels, then come over here, zoom in a little bit, and I'll probably make 4 variances of this here. And all we're doing here is we're just trying to have some of this. We want it to seem like he's swimming through the O. So to do that, we have to take some of this out here. Maybe go like, oops. And then we go command, and then we'll shift. No, other way. That's what it does. What's going on here? It's not gonna work. Alright, let's just do the old-fashioned way. Let's just go this way. I don't know if this is gonna work just because there's not enough stuff that's behind it. Yeah, I don't like that one, but on the next one. Turtle might be good though. Yeah, this would be cool because we can actually go like this. We can go here, have it overlap a little bit like that, right? And then we can just delete a little bit of this guy right here. Instead of go like that. I do wish the O was smaller though. Need to emphasize this a little bit. So take our O, make sure it's centered. And again, it would probably be better if we use the font, not the image here. Alright, so we got this. So I like how it overlaps a little bit more here. It just emphasizes the fact that it's popping through like we want here. So then we can go in here close. But I don't like how this is blurry. I almost want to re-render this out and a lot bigger. Like this. You know, you can zoom in really close, but that's for a rough look. I forget always with artboards you have to make them transparent by going here, and then go to properties, and then changing this to, where is it? I figure we change it. Nothing, transparent. I'm gonna go transparent. Oh. Now that I did that, you can see a little bit of white there, so that may have been too much, but you get what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if the O is working with this turtle either. I'm thinking I should re-render some high def models because these are blurry at 1000. What do we got here? Happy name. I don't want to delete this backup until I successfully make a new backup. Xcode is the worst program at space. Unity's dominating this. So. Well, makes sense. This is my Unity laptop. Yeah, there's not much I can do about that. I need both those. So, it means I have to rely on the user stuff here. And focus on this is your file stream here. So that's what FS stands for. So it's up to date, so technically I can delete this too, but I think this will eventually delete itself after a while. I think there's like a grace period that it holds on to it, so I'm gonna hold off on that. Yeah. This is something we could delete too, probably, but I'm not gonna worry about this second. So I'm gonna come back to the icon here because I'm not happy with any of these really, and I'm not even sure if we're gonna use these renders. They're like, I like this fish a lot. This is a what is it called? What do you call this? Oh, it's a striped angelfish. Oasis four-eyed butterfly fish. Isn't that four-eyed butterfly fish? That's a cool name. Oasis sea turtle. Okay, let's get back in our Unity here and see if we got anything going on. Am I signed in? All right. Yeah, I just don't think this is ever gonna figure its shit out. I might have to delete the whole entire build demo. Demo v111. Maybe it's because I'm using the same name. It just has a problem figuring it out. I just don't want to delete it off this computer because this is the oh wait, what do we got here? We got a little percentage action. Look at that, we actually got something responding to us this time. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna have to reach out to Unity about this. It's a pain in the ass. It might just be because I'm using the same name over and over and over. Let me just try using a new one. This is where it fails. It doesn't know what to do. It's fucking annoying is what it is. pay like $40 a month for this shit and it doesn't fucking work. It's annoying. It's almost as annoying as LinkedIn charging you $60 a month. Alright. Yeah, okay, let me just revert all this shit. What do you want me to do? What if I rename it? Label holder. You know what might fix it? If I actually move the project to a different folder. It's not what I want to spend my time doing. I'm not gonna save that. That's not what we want. Made this new file here, whatever that is. Freaking, it's gonna be the death of me. This fucking goddamn collaborate. So when you move the file path, it's gonna lose it and to re-add it. So we'll just say this now. My desktop. We'll just go ahead and add that in there. There's the. Alright. I'm gonna make it iOS and run it. So that fixes it. I have to load the whole thing now. Well, this isn't that interesting, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this.